What is up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Goalkeeper Tips. In this episode, we talk about 3 of my favorite builds, and we're going to go into detail the trait, the build, what are the pros and cons, and what can you really expect from these 3 builds. So like always, don't forget to hit that like and don't forget to subscribe. Sit back and relax. Let's do it. Let's get straight into it. So my bread and butter, this is a proven winner so far. I've probably played maybe 100 games with this build, and this is probably what I'm going to be using. It is a day before the VFL starts, and this is probably what I'm going to end up using this weekend, and it's a 6'6", 119. I will fluctuate from 6'5" to 6'6", but honestly there is no difference at all. It doesn't make a lick of difference to me. I think it's just because that's how crazy I am in the head that I feel it makes a difference, but realistically no difference. But to me, this is my bread and butter. This is what I choose to go when it's crunch time, when there is a big game. This is probably what I would go to. Main reason. So what are the pros? What are the positives of having this build? You're massive. You're probably the biggest guy on the pitch. So you're big, you're imposing. When it comes to 1v1s, you have a massive wingspan. When you literally put your hands out to come out for a 1v1, you're huge. Absolutely massive. So you can just literally look like you're covering the whole goal. Same thing when it comes to crosses and corner kicks. You come off your line, you get in the air, nobody's gonna beat you, because you're just so big, you're so long. So that is just a massive plus. I mean, it literally is like you're covering the whole goal. Now the downside to this is just typical basics. When you're too big, sometimes you can be a little bit slow. Obviously there are traits that can help you to be faster, to accelerate, and like I said in my previous video, you have to learn how to time that. So you can have all the traits in the world, but if you don't have the timing for it, it's just not going to work. And like everything else, in each and every build, you're going to see all the traits for goalkeeping, they're ticked off. So we're just going to go right past that. Obviously pace is very, very important, especially because you're so big. You want to have as many as possible, but at least 3 of the acceleration traits ticked off. Very, very important, especially like I said, you're so big. You want to be able to have the acceleration, you want to have the speed to be able to move off their line for 1v1s, crosses, corner kicks. You want to be able to have the feet, the quickness to come off your line and recognize, hey, it's time to go. Passing really, really quick. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it is a challenge. I have been struggling a bit, but I am working on it. I do believe that passing at this build is just based more on skill. You need to learn how to pass. You need to learn to add the finesse, the extra touch. How much power are you adding on your passes when you're coming short, when you're dinking those lob balls to your midfielders, or when you're trying to punt the ball in space out to your wingers? Having passing does help. So having all these long trait passes ticked off, short, all this stuff eventually helps. I don't believe that the swerve, the curve, and all that, crossing, obviously that's for if you're a midfielder, but when it comes to short passes and long passes, all that helps. Very, very important. Now we go to our dribbling. Same thing as I talked about the 1v1s. Having all this does help. You want to be able to be agile, be quick, be able to evade attackers that are pressing you. You want to be able to get around them and pass the ball to your defenders, or just clear it, hoof it off. Because you're so big, you really don't need a lot of strength. So this, I just take that off because I had 1 point. But again, jumping is a given. It helps, but because you're so massive, you really don't need that much. So this is the build that I love to come to after maybe not having a good night on the VFL. If I feel like, you know what, I'm struggling at 6'6", I drop it down. No problem. I don't hesitate. I drop it down to a 6'4", 130. What are the benefits? I say that you're just solid. You're solid in every department, and you just have all the right stats in the right places. You recommend this if you're starting playing competitively, or if you're starting in goalkeeping. If you're new to it, this is a really good starting build. Obviously, this is a given, and this is just a no-brainer. You have to have all these ticked off. Speed, the same. Yes, you're 6'4", you're 2 inches shorter, but having this does help, especially again on 1v1s or coming off for crosses if you want to punch the ball, or be able to catch it on crosses, corner kicks, etc. You want to be able to have that speed. Now this is something that I've picked it up a little bit. I added 2 points for my swerve passes. Again, I really do want, because I feel like I have really good passing stats and I have the speed, I want to be able to be a little bit more accurate with my passes. I want to be able to dink the balls in space, either to my midfielders or to my wingers or to my striker. I want to be able to hit those balls with accuracy and just be able to be an assister, be able to start an attack from the back, or if I need to evade a pressing attackers, I can have the ability to hit a really short, accurate ball to my defenders. Very, very important. Same thing with dribbling. You want to have the right stats, and I feel that this build gives you, like I said, it gives you all the right stats in the right places. You have agility, you're able to evade, you're able to move around very comfortable, very quickly. You're not too big, you're not robotic. It's just a good, solid build. Physically, you are strong enough, you're able to come off your line, you can jump high enough, you can get low. It's just perfect. So now this is one that has been in the works for a while now. This is probably one that I wouldn't use in the VFL or competitively anytime soon, but it is a build that I would love, I seriously mean it, I would love to be able to say, hey boys, try this build. This is insane. You know, I got 8, 9, 10, 15 clean sheets in one season in the VFL using this build. Now what are the pros to this is that you are absolutely rapid, you are fast, you can move like a cat side to side, front to back. You're just, because you're not as big, you are just really quick. So this is more like a Keylor Navas, Iker Casillas. You're just quick. You don't need that much acceleration. I could probably remove those two and you would still be fast. Because you're so short, you can accelerate and you're quick, just ridiculously quick, because you're just not as big. Passing is pretty much the same, but you should be able to dink the balls, and you just have more quickness to come off your line, to receive balls, and to just evade and then just pop balls anywhere on the field. Because you're so fast, you can plant yourself and you can just have all this freedom. Same thing with dribbling. You can evade defenders, you can sprint, get away from them, you name it. You can come off your line and slide tackle them just because of that size. Again, think of Iker Casillas and think of Keylor Navas are two of the goalkeepers that have that kind of build. This is what this build reminds me of when I play this. This is what I think of. I think of those kind of goalkeepers. Physically, this is where I try to ante it up. I try to give you guys more strength because you're not so big. So when you do come out for crosses to punch the ball, I think with this build you're probably going to end up punching the ball more than catching it. The downside, the real downside, and I can see this happening, that's why I've never tried it competitively, is you're just short when it comes to crosses. When it comes to anything in the air, those high shots in the air, you might struggle. Realistically, that's the problem, but I am working on it. I'm working on timing and making sure that if it works, it's gonna be awesome, and you will be the first to know, hey, try this, I figured it out. This is what you need to do to get those balls in the top corners or come out for crosses. Adding some strength to be able to handle the pushing, the shoving from those big 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" center backs. It's gonna be important. So for me, this is a build that is in the works. It's one that I would love to say, hey guys, try this, it is awesome. But again, these are the 3 builds that I love to use. I think they're awesome. I think that this is, like I said, 6'6", 119 is a proven competitive, really good build that's going to get you really good results when it comes to playing competitively. 6'4" is also another build that you could use competitively but also have fun with. This is just absolutely just having fun with your friends. If you're up for it and try competitively, let me know. Let me know if you're using a smaller build competitively. I would love to hear from you guys. But obviously the trait's the same, so we're gonna go past this with this build. This is my 3 favorite builds that I recommend. Give it a try. Let me know if you've tried it. Let me know, what are your traits, what are your builds, what are your favorite builds that you like to move around and like to use. So anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like and don't forget to subscribe. Once again, thank you guys so much for 5,000 subscribers. I will see you guys in the next one. Later.
Yeah.